I promised my next video was going to be a bit more positive on this channel. I guess that's not going to happen because the Pokemon Company is increasing prices, as I kind of alluded to in my last video. So we're going to talk about it. Let's go look at the Pokemon Center UK and check this out because it's pretty egregious, if you ask me. So if you look here on the Pokemon Center website, at least the UK version, I haven't been able to verify this on the US one just yet because I don't know why, it was loading very slowly. But as you can see here, I'm using Phantasmal Flames as an example, but this is basically across the board with all of the products as of Scarlet and Violet, it seems. There have been also some fluctuations with other products, but this is the main gist of it. But we can see that these prices have jumped up pretty much across most of the products. So the ETB has gone up from $54.99 to $56.99, which is a £2 increase. The booster bundle is up from $23.94 to $25.99, which is an increase of £1.05. And the booster box is up from $143.64 to $151.99, which is an £8 and 35 pence increase. And then we also have down here the sleeved boosters are also up from $3.99 to $4.99 each. And this isn't the only stuff. The regular sets are not the only ones that are affected here. Special sets are also seeming to be at least partially affected. So if we just look here on Prismatic Evolutions, for example, again, like the booster bundle is up, which is it's consistent with what we saw with Phantasmal. But if you'll notice here too, the mini tins are also up by £1 each. So the police, the Pokemon companies, they're calling their guys to try and get me to stop this story from getting out. Yeah, this is kind of what I was alluding to, maybe, with kind of the Pokemon Company leaving money on the table, and it looks like they're collecting, maybe they're wanting to get that extra piece of the pie. So the significance of this is that, like, I've seen some people be like, oh, it's only a couple of pounds here and there, which, if you're just buying one of these products on its own, I guess that makes sense. But at the same time, look, there's a lot of reasons why this sucks. First of all, if you look at just like take the ETB for example, going up by £2, we have had price increases for ETBs in the past. So if you look back at like the old Sword and Shield Pokemon Center ETBs, those were priced at MSRP for $49.99 here in the UK, and then they did go up in the Scarlet and Violet era to $54.99, like I previously mentioned. The difference there is that they did increase the value proposition a little bit. So for Sword and Shield's Pokemon Center ETBs, they included 10 booster packs, whereas the Scarlet and Violet ETBs for Pokemon Center, they went up by an extra booster pack, and they came with 11 booster packs in total. So even though there was an increase, there was still some justification. It was like, okay, we're offering you a little bit more, even though we're charging you a little bit more. But here, there's like, it's the same product. It's not changing at all. They've just, decided to increase the price because they can, because of the Pokemon Company. And the reason I think this irks me is because, yes, it's only a couple of quid. I mean, the booster box is a little bit more. Basically 2 booster packs worth on top of what you were previously paying. So you're getting, I guess, like 2 booster packs less of value based on this new price. It frustrates me because I feel like if you're buying these products, and it's maybe the wrong way of phrasing it, but it feels like you should be getting a bit more of a deal if you're buying at these higher end products. If you're buying a bunch of booster packs in bulk, surely you shouldn't be paying more for these products. And I mean, I guess now that they've made the value proposition different because they have increased sleeve booster packs to that $5.99 tier. So in theory, like, I think it works out to about £4.20 for per booster pack for a booster box now, based on this new price. So, like, technically you're getting less, you're spending less by buying the booster box still, but you're still spending more than you were previously. So I just rubs me the wrong way, like the fact that you have to we're now paying a premium for these bigger products. And yeah, I understand on one level, like, booster boxes and ETBs are being sought after, particularly by scalpers. So and those go for crazy amounts on the aftermarket. So like there is I guess the reason is that maybe that's why there's a premium there, but it just feels icky to me that I should be bearing the burden for that, for choosing to buy this at a higher price and I'm getting screwed. Like, what? That's stupid. It's stupid. Like, look, compare it to, I don't know, let's say Itsu seaweed thins, for example. If I was buying a bulk box of those, I shouldn't be paying a premium because I'm buying more at once. I should be saving money on buying multiples of those all in one go. So I feel like, it's a different comparison, but I feel like we shouldn't be paying more when we're not getting anything in return. I just think it feels scummy. It feels scummy in that way. The other thing is that this is, to me, obviously people are going to pay these prices no matter what in this current market that we're in. But it just raises the floor for what scalpers are going to charge on the aftermarket. Scalper prices are already crazy as it is, but this just incentivizes them to pay or to charge even more for what they're trying to get out of these products. Yeah, look, I mean, this is clearly like the Pokemon Company seeing scalper prices and being like, well, we've been charging less for a while now. Why can't we reap some of those profits too? Cut a bit more out when we're getting kind of screwed over by these other people who are reselling our products and making more of the money. But to put that more so on the consumer, like, I don't like it, especially like what I've just talked about in my previous video, where they're already making the products worse for the 30th celebration, and inevitably those products are going to use these new prices. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't. Yeah, man, I don't like it. I don't like it. I guess the main takeaway I want to bring from this video is that, like, now more than ever, like, you really shouldn't be paying scalper prices for any of these things, because, like I was said in my previous video, like, it just sends a message to the Pokemon Company, and now we're seeing that firsthand. They are not gonna... If people keep buying at these insane prices, it's just gonna go up and up and up because they know they can charge more for these things. Because people are clearly willing to buy them en masse. So, I really would just, like, avoid doing that. I know it's gonna be hard, like, Pokemon Center... well, it's already hard enough to get products on the freaking site as is, with the queues and all that sort of stuff. But, like, at least this was as close to MSRP as we were gonna get. So yeah, I'm not advocating to not buy from the Pokemon Center, because, like, for a lot of people, this is really the only option, including myself in a lot of cases. Like, I've had at least some success with getting products with not exorbitant prices, although now it's going up to a little bit more, it's reaching the echelon. So yeah, man, I don't know. This sucks. This really just sucks. Look, I promise my next video is gonna probably be not about Pokemon prices. I feel like that the Pokemon prices are too damn high. Remember that meme? Remember that meme? Yeah, so yeah, I think my next video will probably hopefully be a bit more fun, maybe than this. Talking about prices and money all the time. Let's talk about the actual cards for once. But yeah, I just wanted to share this because I don't know, people share it on Reddit. Not seeing maybe people talk about it, which I found strange. I mean, I'm sure people are gonna maybe pick this up as it kind of goes. Maybe when it starts affecting the Pokemon Center US, maybe this will become a bigger thing. But just something to be aware of. I think at the end of the day, like, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I think you just got to bear these things in mind, because Pokemon products aren't cheap. They're not cheap anymore, and they're not getting any cheaper, at least not for the time being. So anyway, that's all I really want to say. Hopefully more fun video next time. Okay, goodbye, guys. Goodbye.